So here I am back with my Keepsake Journal, and I got my husband to cut the Scrabble board down, and it fits. It's a bit of a struggle to get it in, but it does actually fit in there. And I thought today I'd put some stuff in there and see what we could get going. So I'm just going to get some of this out. Now I want to paint it. I don't want to have a Scrabble board that's that colour. Not my favourite wood colour anyway, so I'm going to paint this up. Now just while I'm letting that dry, I think I'll put some Crackle Paste onto this book here. So this is just a gold Crackle Paste. It's Stamperia. Let me just grab this around for you. Stamperia Crackle Paste in gold. And I've used it before. It actually seems to crack quite well. And I thought that if I just put some like onto some of this part here and knocking over all my little bottles there and let it crack, it might look quite good. Should put some in the back too, I think, and let it crack. See if I can get some of it to crack through here. I'm just using a palette knife to slide this on. Particularly over these painted areas. I was hoping that I could get some cracking happening here. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in here. Now I'm just working out that I think I want it about here. So I'll run some glue into the book and then I'll put it on top of that. Still a little bit wet, but it's working. Just have to push my book out a little bit to try and get it in here. So this is the Paper Artsy paint in sea glass that I used the other day. That's the bluey colour, you can see, the bluey greeny colour. And I thought if I did some paint on it with the same colour, it might tone it in, because at the moment the white is kind of sticking out and I don't like that. I think that looks much better in that colour, even though it's still a little grungy. You can see some of the brown and stuff coming through from underneath. So now I'm going to start putting things in. Now I'm using a Tim Holtz label from the Halloween set. This book here. Sticker book, actually. It's the Curiosities. It's not the Halloween. And it's a long label, but I'm just going to take it around, cut it off, and put it on here. and then position the nice part to the front. What I mean by the nice part is the bit with the 215 and the name on it. Now also I've got some string, which always comes in handy for this sort of thing, and just putting some around the neck of the bottle and tie it off. And with this one here, I don't know whether I can get another one of these labels like this one and maybe put this one on it as well. And I've got that many of them that doesn't really matter. That one's cute, look at that. Now, I wanted to tell you that the good news is, if you're in another country, I'm now shipping to some countries from my Etsy shop. So your order will ship tracked, and I'll give you a reference number so you can track it. Now, unfortunately, we can't post letters overseas anymore, which I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's true. In Australia, you can't post a letter going overseas because of the lack of flights, and so you can only post something as a parcel. So even if I was posting something like this big, it would have to go as a parcel, and that costs money, of course. Otherwise it would go by ship, and that's going to take 3 months or more to get there. So I am shipping things as a parcel, and the cost of doing that to the US and Canada is $21. That's 21 Australian dollars. And to other parts where I'm shipping, which are the UK, France, Spain, Italy, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, a few other places, is $26. And then I also am shipping to New Zealand now. So if you haven't seen my Etsy shop for a while, go have a look. I've got heaps and heaps of new stuff in there, vintage things. And I will be putting some of my linens up. Now what I thought I could put in them, and I'm not sure if it'll work, is I've got some watch parts. So these are just bits of watch bits, and I don't want to spill them everywhere. I'm wondering if the smaller things might fit. I should be able to get some things in here, surely. Like this has got like an old dial. There's another little bit. I think that'll fit. Oh, nope. Nope, too big. These little mini things should fit. And then see if this will go in like this. So I'm getting some in there. I'll persevere and see how far I can get. And then I've got this glycerol. Now why I've got glycerol in my craft stash is because I use it if I'm embossing. I use it doing embossing powder, because what it will do is, instead of using the ink pad or an embossing pad, I use the glycerol, because all you need to do is wet the piece. So if it's wet, it should work. And I'll just drop this in there really carefully, one drop at a time, and not get too, it's pouring a little now. And now I'm going to take my glue and glue that on top and hope for the best that it doesn't come out. So some glue on the stopper, around the edge, and push it in. Now you can see the watch parts moving in it. It's like a lava lamp. How cool is that? And I want to glue this down so that it doesn't move out of the book. I'll take the glue right down the back of it. And let's stick it in. Now because this lies down, that liquid's going to move around in there if you lift it up. And then with this one, I'm going to put a little bit more glycerin in the bottom. No watch parts, just a bit of glycerin so it looks like it's got some liquid in there. Provided I can drop this in without getting it everywhere. And that is now in the book. You can see the watch parts and the glycerin blobbing around in there. I'm not sure if you're picking that up on camera or not, but I can certainly see it. Now I'm going to put my wooden numbers on here now. So I'm just using some glue on the back of them, and I'll pop them, I'm going to stand them on the actual shelf. Now I've got that shelf in there. And I've also got my little, this is the little dome. And what I've discovered is that the birdcage fits in there perfectly. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave him in there, but it's quite cute. The key will go across the top. Stick it on and get it in here. Now what I've discovered in my stash is that I've got this little terracotta pot, and I think that might look nice with the hat pins in it. I was going to do the other thing, the thimble, but having found this, I thought why not? And I know you can paint these because I've painted them before. The other thing I found are these green Tara roses, which are black. And how cool are they? I've never used them. I bought them because I just thought that they were gorgeous, and I thought I might never see them again. And now I'm going to use them, which is great. So I'm going to use these and the hat pins in this little thing. So I'll have the hat pins up high and then a bunch of the black roses down the bottom, like low down on it. I just need to let that dry for a tick. Now the pot won't stand up by itself, and I may have to put some more paint on it after I've stuck it in. But the plan would be to put some glue in it. And hopefully by putting some glue into the bottom, my things will go where I want them to go. I think I need really long stems because I want these to sit low in the jar, like about there. Now that has all been a little bit fiddly, but I'm getting there. I've just got the flowers getting into there now, and I've got my little hat pins kind of where I want them. I'm just loving these black roses, let me tell you. I do want to move this one without pulling them all out because I wanted to put it down so its stem goes in another place. And there's a song that I love called Black Roses, which is by Claire Bowen. She is an Australian singer, songwriter, actress, and she played Scarlett O'Connor on the series Nashville, which was on many years ago. Actually, I don't know how many years ago, but you can still see it. I think it's on Netflix or Prime or one of those. And she sings a song called Black Roses. I think it's in the first or second season, but you can probably just put it into YouTube and it'll come up. And it's a beautiful song, and she's got the most amazing voice. Now I've decided that I'm going to put some of the black roses into the dome as well, and I think I can stick them into the cork, hopefully, to stand up. Let's see. That's too tall, but the idea is good. Let's chop it off a little bit more. And there are the roses in the dome. Sorry, let me get that down here so it'll focus a bit more for you. If I turn them around this way, I think that would be a good way to go. And that will sit up here. Now I've decided not to put the watch in, because it just doesn't fit now that I've finished all this, which is a pity, but I still have things in here that I would call keepsakes because they're things that I really like that I haven't used before. Now what I'm adding here are some corbels to my shelf, and these are actually Tim Holtz book corners, but I'm calling them corbels in this instance because that's what they're going to look like and act like. So just a bit of glue on the two flat sides that you normally wrap around the corner of a book, and then they'll stick hopefully to the wood and to the side of the book. So there you go, that's that. And now I've found a light bulb. I had to actually grab it from another piece that I'd done. Like I said, I do have some more of these, no idea where they are. I'll add some more glue to the top of this and stick it in though. And I just want to make sure I put it in the right way. Let's see. Seeing what that says on there, but I don't know what it says. Stick it up to there, hopefully it'll stay when it dries. And the other piece that I'm going to use is this watch. So it's one of the old vintage watches that I showed you before. It's actually got the mechanism and everything sort of in it still. The hand still goes around, and I'll glue this in. I'm going to put the bird cage down the bottom next to the vase. Let's get some stuff around there and then stick it on. Now I'm going to stick this down. I've got some glue on the page here as well, and I've tied this on, this bit of string, and I'll cut it off at the edge here and here. Found objects, it says, which I think is perfect. It's one of the Tim Holtz word bands. And then I had a thought that these pen nibs that I had out before would fit down here. So let's just see. Now, they're a bit big. I was going to use my vintage pen nibs in here, but they're just a little too tall. So instead, I'm going to use these Tim Holtz ones because they will fit with a bit of glue on the back. Now I'll just turn my piece around so I can get them where I want them to go. And maybe I'll pick them up with my tweezers. So I just want them down here next to the bottles. They actually have little words on them. That one says journey. This one says notes. I don't know if you can see that down there. And this says notes as well. Maybe they've all got different things on them. I don't know. But I'm going to have to put them both down. They both say the same thing. I don't want to jump up again and find another one. I didn't realise they had words on them. I haven't used them before. They've been sitting there for ages. Because I tend to buy everything Tim, and then I work out eventually what I'm doing with it. And I think that's looking good. Whether I need one more little thing down the bottom there. Just thinking of a rosebud. Thinking of a little piece of rose. Let's just put some glue on it. Like it's fallen from the vase. So that is my little keepsake cutout, and then I'll get on with the rest of the pages with the actual other keepsakes on them. I've got the 3 of them done plus this now, and this has got some keepsakes in it anyway. It's got this vintage hat pin and this vintage watch dial, and it's got things that I love, so I think that's really sweet. I hope you like it as much as what I do. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will catch you next time. Cheers.